In the quiet corners of our world, where innocence should flourish, a shadow looms, a darkness that gnaws at the very fabric of our humanity. Can you feel it? The unsettling truth that haunts our daily lives. How can one human being do this to another? Each morning, as the sun rises and you follow your routine, there's an undercurrent of discomfort, a whisper in your soul urging you to confront a reality that feels too heavy to bear. This is not merely a tale of statistics or distant suffering. It is a profound reflection of our shared existence, a collective betrayal of the innocent. Hannah Arendt once spoke of the banality of evil, reminding us that ordinary lives can become complicit in unimaginable atrocities when silence becomes their refuge. In ignoring the horrors of child trafficking, we betray not just those who suffer, but also the essence of who we are. We silence our innate impulse to protect the vulnerable, to stand firmly against cruelty. To grasp this darkness fully, we must journey into the labyrinth of the human psyche. Carl Jung, the great psychoanalyst, taught us that the soul communicates through symbols and archetypes, universal stories that reflect our shared humanity. When we dismiss these narratives as separate from our own lives, we risk becoming unwitting agents of indifference. Jung implored us to confront our shadow, the darker aspects of ourselves, recognizing that growth hinges on our willingness to face uncomfortable truths. In failing to acknowledge the plight of trafficked children, we allow that shadow to fester, spreading pain and despair throughout society. Imagine a vibrant village where laughter dances on the breeze and children play under the sun's warm embrace. Each child is a treasure, a promise of a brighter tomorrow. Yet lurking beyond the horizon are predators, figures cloaked in charm and urgency, whispering deceitful promises to unsuspecting families. One such child is Sophia. Her eyes sparkle with dreams as she twirls through life, blissfully unaware that her innocence makes her a target. The traffickers emerge under the guise of benevolence, offering education and opportunity, painting a picture of hope while concealing their true intentions, transforming her life into a commodity. Sophia represents the innocent, the archetype of purity ensnared in a world that thrives on exploitation. The traffickers are dark magicians skilled in manipulation, weaving intricate webs of deceit that ensnare not only children, but entire families left in despair. Among them stands the unsuspecting parent, the archetype of love twisted by desperation. In their quest for a better life for their child, they become unwitting collaborators in this tragedy, blinded by false promises. As Sophia is taken from her home, her journey morphs from one of joy into a harrowing odyssey through shadows. Each day brings new trials, fear becomes familiar, and hope dims under the weight of betrayal. Yet within her flickers a defiant ember, a small voice that refuses to be silenced. In those darkest moments she embodies the universal struggle against oppression. Every act of resistance becomes significant, every whispered prayer ignites an ember of hope. Sophia's journey serves as a mirror reflecting an uncomfortable truth about our own lives. We are all interconnected in this web of existence. When one child suffers, we all bear witness to that pain, even if we choose to remain oblivious. Our silence perpetuates cycles of suffering. Our voices possess the power to break them. The treasure lies not in riches or power. It resides in our shared responsibility to protect those who cannot protect themselves. But what can we do? First, we must look inward. Acknowledging our discomfort is the first step. Allow it to motivate action rather than apathy. Educate yourself about child trafficking. Advocate for those without a voice. Support organizations dedicated to rescuing and rehabilitating victims. Every small act counts. When you stand up against injustice, you reclaim not just your own humanity but also that of others. Yet let us not forget the archetypes present within each story. If you're enjoying this, consider liking the video and subscribing for more insights. Consider the hero, those who rise against the darkness, fighting for justice and seeking to restore the innocence lost. The wise elder emerges as well, the advocates and activists who have devoted their lives to illuminating the path toward awareness and change. They embody the wisdom of experience, guiding us through the murky waters of ignorance and indifference. And then there is the shadow, the traffickers themselves, representing the darkest impulses within humanity, preying on vulnerability and desperation. As Sophia navigates her trials, she encounters others along her path, fellow captives who become her allies, each representing different facets of resilience and courage. Together, they embody the strength found in unity, each contributing their unique gifts to the fight against their oppressors. Amidst this struggle lies an essential truth: every obstacle faced is an initiatory ritual. Each challenge becomes an opportunity for transformation, not just for Sophia but for all who bear witness to her plight. The journey toward liberation is fraught with peril, but it is also laden with moments of profound beauty and connection. Those who stand alongside her become symbols of hope, reminders that in the face of darkness, light can still prevail. Together, they craft a narrative woven with threads of solidarity and shared purpose, illuminating a path toward freedom that had once seemed insurmountable. Sophia's story compels us to reflect on our own lives. How often do we turn away from discomfort? How frequently do we ignore the suffering unfolding around us? The treasure she seeks, the freedom she yearns for, mirrors our own quest for meaning and purpose. Each life matters, every voice has power. As we conclude this chapter on a grim reality that too many choose to overlook, I invite you to take a moment and consider the lives behind the statistics. Each number represents a child, a story, and a future stolen. What if the next time you hear a siren, it's not merely an emergency, but a call to action? Your awareness is the first step toward change. Share what you've learned today, engage in conversations, and support organizations that fight against this injustice. Together, we can transform our collective outrage into a powerful force for good. Let us not turn away or tuck this topic away in the recesses of our minds. Instead, ponder what steps you can take today, whether it's educating yourself further, spreading awareness, or supporting those who strive to rescue and rehabilitate victims. Will you remain a passive observer in this story, or will you embrace the role of an active participant in change? The choice lies before you. Will you have the courage to confront the shadows within and around you? As we part ways today, carry this message with you: every small action can ripple out and create change. Will you allow the shadows to grow unchecked, or will you ignite a light of compassion and action? Remember that every voice raised in defiance against injustice adds strength to the chorus demanding change. Keep watching the next video. This journey does not end with an answer but continues with new questions waiting to be explored. What will you do next? Together, let's rewrite this narrative into one of hope and resilience, standing firm against the darkness that threatens to consume us all. As we wrap up today's investigation into the dark world of child trafficking, I want to leave you with a question that lingers long after the lights go down. What if the next time you see a child in need, you look beyond the surface and consider the unimaginable realities they may be facing? It's easy to feel overwhelmed, but remember, awareness is our first step toward change, so let's not turn away. Let's share this information, support organizations fighting for these innocent lives, and challenge ourselves to create a world where every child can thrive in safety and love. Because sometimes the smallest actions can spark the greatest transformations. What will your action be? As we wrap up this eye-opening journey into the dark world of child trafficking, I invite you to take a moment and reflect on the lives behind the headlines. Each child a story, a dream, a future stolen. What if we shifted our focus from just being spectators to becoming advocates for change? Consider this: every small action, whether it's spreading awareness, supporting organizations that fight against trafficking, or even having conversations in your own circles, can ripple out to make a difference. So what will you do next? Let's not just stand by, let's turn our concern into action. Your voice matters, and together we can help rewrite these stories. Together, let us become warriors against this darkness, champions for those who cannot speak for themselves, so that one day, every child can laugh freely under the sun without fear or shadow lurking nearby. This is our call to action. Let it resonate through our hearts and minds as we take steps forward into a brighter future for all children. As we wrap up this eye-opening journey into the dark world of child trafficking, let's take a moment to reflect on the power we hold as individuals. It's easy to feel overwhelmed or powerless in the face of such a vast and horrific issue. But remember, awareness is the first step toward change. So, ask yourself, what can you do today to make a difference? Whether it's educating those around you, supporting organizations that fight against trafficking, or simply staying informed, every action counts. These innocent lives deserve more than just our sympathy. They need our voices. Let's not turn away from their plight. Let's stand together and turn our outrage into action. Thanks for watching, and let's keep this important conversation alive.